Welcome back. And joining us now from the nation's capital is Lyle Shelton from the Australian Christian Lobby. How are you, Lyle?
Well, thanks, Kent. Even better now that spring has sprung and Canberra's long winter is over.
It's great, isn't it? Now, Lyle, last weekend we saw the World Congress of Families struggle to get off the ground in Melbourne. There was a lot of protest and some fairly negative media coverage in the lead up to the event. What's the correct balance here, do you think, between the free speech of the event speakers and the free speech of their critics?
Well, we do need to find that balance, Kent. Unfortunately, probably some of the organisation wasn't that great. It saw key politicians pull out, and I support them in their decision to pull out of that event. And also the World Congress of Families itself eventually, right at the last minute, also pulled out from the event. So it was left to run under the auspices of another organisation. I think we've got to work really hard on the organisation of things. If we're going to put controversial issues out into the public square, like the supposed or alleged link between abortion and breast cancer, and I'm not saying if there is or isn't, although there's studies that suggest there are, we should be able to discuss these freely in a democratic society. But if we're going to put those issues out there, we've got to make sure that we've prepared the groundwork for it. And I'm not sure that was done, and I think that generated a lot of unnecessary hostile publicity.
Yeah, OK. On to another issue, Lyle. A few weeks back we saw the unfolding of the baby Gammy saga. There were claims there that the Australian parents of a Down syndrome baby born through surrogacy abandoned that baby. Is this just a tragic one-off incident, or does this point to larger issues with surrogacy?
No, this definitely points to larger issues with the practice of surrogacy, Kent. We're seeing many Australian couples going overseas to places like India and Thailand to acquire babies through surrogacy, and that involves the commercial exploitation of very poor women. Surrogacy is a very complex arrangement. It often involves multiple adults in the conception and with a emotional stake in a child. It really is ethically fraught, and it's one of the big issues that's facing a nation, and we've really got to sort this ethical issue out very quickly, because it has huge ramifications for children. OK, so
obviously you're a bit wary about commercial surrogacy. What about a situation where it's sort of between friends and family members? Is that perhaps doable?
Look, it can sound very lacking in compassion to say no to this, but I would say no even on an altruistic basis, and we do have some states in Australia that allow altruistic surrogacy. It just is incredibly complex, and it creates a deep biological and emotional entanglement in the life of a child, which I just can't see ending well for the majority of cases. There might be exceptions, but hard cases do make bad law, and I think we've got to ensure that our laws uphold the best interests of the child, and I'm just not sure that surrogacy provides that.
Yeah, OK. Well, thanks for your time this week, Lyle.
Pleasure, Kent. Thanks for having us.